sho sangye chud soje chonam la chancho pardo dane chapso che dage jenso jibe sunam je ola pensar sanje drobar sho sanje chudan soje Chonam la chancho bardo dane chapsoch dage jenso jibe sunam jen rola pensar sanj drobar sho sunjen tamje deva dan deve judan dembar jorje Dungar je jodan tawar jorj Dungar mebe deva tamba dai mendar va jorje nyeren chadai nidan dar Tanya jembola neva jorje semjen damje deva da Deve judan dembar jurje dungar je juda tawar jurje dungar mebe deva tamba da mendava jurje nyeren chada nidan tarva tanya jembola nebar jurje Samjen damje deva dan deve judan dembar jorje dungar je judan tawar jorje dungar mebe deva tamba dan mendar va jorje nyeren chada nidan darva tanya je Nebar George Varden Zavel Lama Ramboje Dage Jevar Peme Denjor Kadren Jembor Gone Jizon Gozon Doje Mudop Zardo Okay, so today we are going to talk very basic teaching. The teaching mostly karma. The karma is very one of the very essential teaching of Buddhism as well as Hinduism. So in that case, both Buddhism and Hinduism almost we share same idea, same explanation, the meaning and the meaning of the karma. So also the meaning of the karma is very a little bit, I would say a little bit complicated. At the same time, quite easy to us. So that way, let's see what is the exactly meaning of the karma, and then how this karma being exists in sentient beings' mind, and how this karma ripening as a result, and what kind of other conditions needed in order to ripen karma. So therefore, this teaching is quite profound teaching, actually. Not only the profound teaching, but also, if we understand truly the meaning of the karma and we follow the respect of the karma, then because of that, we get a lot of benefit, advantage out of respect meaning of the karma. So I'm going to try to explain the meaning of the karma in the various way, according to Hinayana teaching, how the Hinayana explain this meaning of the karma, and as well as Mahayana, due to the Mahayana, how karma is explained. All these things have a little bit different way to explain. So whatsoever may be, I say on the teaching of the karma, my word is not my own idea. We should know that I don't create something, my own idea about the karma and talk to you. Rather, all that's what I supposed to say on the karma is pretty much based on the scriptural and the Buddha's Sutra, as well as commentaries of the Buddha Sutra, which is written by the great masters in India, as well as Tibetan great masters. Because I have learned some different explanations, karma, from different texts. So I have some kind of knowledge for the karma. So therefore, just I explain to you the explanation based on the scripture. I'm not going to talk what I think about karma. I'm not going to say my own idea. My own idea supposed to not be always truth. It's just a sentient being's idea. That is just, the individual sentient being's idea. So therefore, my own idea about karma is not necessarily correct. So since we based on the teachings of the Buddha, teachings of great masters, then we should to accept this kind of teaching as authentic one, as a correct one. So why I'm saying these things here is mostly when we talk about karma, the logic and the reason may not support to explain the karma. Do you understand that? For instance, if we talk about the true nature of the existence and all these things, then the logic and the reason is become great support to explanation. You can talk through the logic. You can talk through the reason. But karma is different. Karma is not really be able to prove by the logic. Okay, it is almost I could say we have to believe in that way. For instance, if you do good deeds, and then you will get good result in the future lifetime. Then somebody asks you how it's come. Do you have any logic reason? Probably there's no much logic, no much reason for it. So therefore, only we should to follow the scripture and teachings. So having said that, very basic meaning of the karma is, as we know, good deeds give a result of good experience. Bad deeds give a result of the bad experience. That is the basic idea of karma. So in that basic idea, then there must be explained more detail, go more deeper, more precisely the meaning of the karma. So here, I try to go directly the idea of the karma. First of all, the literal meaning of the karma is action and activity. That action, that activity produced by the physically and verbally and mentally activity. That kind of activity, either good deed, good activity, or good action or bad action becomes a form of the karma. So let's say our sentient beings, any kind of sentient beings, act through physically, verbally, mentally, any form of the action related with the positive or negative action, either positive and either negative action. That kind of action has ability to give a result in the future time. Okay, do you understand that? That action, it could be act out of the body, speech, mind. That action becomes virtue or good action or bad action. That good action or the bad action means the action related to benefits. The action brings benefit to you and to others. That kind of action becomes good action. Any kind of action that harms to yourself, harms to others, that is the bad action. So the good action, bad action has ability to give a result in the future time. So that is the meaning of a karma. So here, and when we said that, then we should understand, that there is a saying any kind of action sometimes may not become completed karma form. Okay. In order to become completed karma form, you need some kind of other conditions with this action. Listen that, okay? First, intention needed. Okay. Intention, if you act something physically, the action is guided by intention or motivation, and then action itself, and then result you should do witness. You should see the result. That these three procedure or aspects are completed, then that kind of action becomes the karma. Do you understand that? Okay. Which means for instance, I just make clear to you. For instance, if you act good action through or maybe let's take a little bit bad action. Okay. Example: if somebody kill an animal, okay, first you have to have the intention to kill. Okay. With this intention and perform in real action, physically real action. And then, because this action gives the result of in a particular sentient beings die, you have to witness the death of sentient beings or result of killed. So these three aspects or three conditions come together, then that type of the karma has ability to leave what we call the karma in subconsciousness and very subtle level consciousness. So that is the basic meaning of the karma. So in that case, usually we say 10 negative actions becomes karma. 10 positive actions also becomes karma. Good karma is the positive action, and a negative, bad karma is the negative action. The action which act out of the body, speech, and mind. Probably you know there's 10 good negative action and 10 positive actions. Usually, that 3 related with the body, 4 related of speech, and 3 related with the what we call the mind action. So in that case, it is quite pretty much easy to understanding. In that case, karma is not that much complicated. So then, when we say give a result of the karma, it's a little bit complicated. Once we accumulated the karma, either the good karma or bad karma, whatever whatsoever may be, this given result as in the future time. Time is uncertainty. There's no fixation. It could be ripening on you this lifetime. It could be ripening on you next lifetime. Or it could be ripening on you in the far future lifetime. There's no really fixed time or schedule. It is pretty much depend on the other conditions again. Whether this karma, particular karma, ripening in our life is depend on other conditions. If there is a possibility other conditions present in this life, the karma ripen to you. Whenever conditions come together with the karma, then karma is ripening to us. So therefore, one thing what we should understand is every situation is the life, and life is not totally, completely depend on the karma. Okay? Listen it. Any situation in the life, whether happiness, successful, or unhappiness, whatever may be happened, is not necessarily totally, completely controlled by karma. Depend on the karma. Your destination is not necessarily completely depend on the karma. Usually we say, when le, charge jin. Two things. When le is the former karma, karmic tendencies, and the charge jin is the temporary present conditions. These two things need to be get together. Then karma gives result. If conditions not present in this lifetime or a particular lifetime, karma is not ripening to you in that moment, in that time. Maybe in the future lifetimes, it can be postponed. Even karma is never happening to us. For instance, either positive karma and negative karma is earned or accumulated in previous lifetimes or these lifetimes. That karma is sometimes may not happening at all, either this lifetime and the future lifetimes. Why is because it can be purified. For negative karma can be purified using different methods, practices, and accumulated merit. The accumulated merit is antidote to purify negative karma. As well as positive karma can be losing, also disappear. For instance, even you have the good positive karma in this lifetime, accumulated merit, but somehow at the same time some kind of negative things, if you act, all these things happen. then that, that's a negative action destroy the positive karma also too. That things can be happens. So that is the very basic meaning of the karma. So this basic meaning of the karma is like, the mostly accepted by the entire Buddhist tradition from Hinayana to Vajrayana, basically accept in that basic meaning of the karma, as well as Hinduism also, this basic idea is accepted. We shared. There's no much difference in that case. Then, so here, another thing what I would like to say in this particular case is knowing the law of causality, law of karmic causality, and trying to believe in it give us a lot of benefit, give us advantage in life. It is not, I'm saying in that case, only for the good action brings good result in the future time, in the next lifetime, so on and so on. But in the temporary life situation, someone really respects the law of the karma. Life, in that case, this particular person's life becomes quite, how to say, discipline type of life. I mean, life is protected by the idea of the karma. Do you understand that? I hope you understand. When I use the term like life is protected by the idea of the karma. For instance, if you have believe in the karma, if you trying to respect the karma, then because this idea, this the belief system what you have keeps your life not fall into the negative activities. That just only this idea helps us life not falling into the negativities. Because that, okay, like for instance, I don't want to harm to any other sentient beings because I believe in the karma. I don't want to do any negative things because I believe in the karma. I do some positive actions, physically, verbally, mentally, as much as I can because I believe in karma. If you have that kind of idea, that particular person naturally good person, you are careful your life not to fall into the negative activities and trying to create generating positive things in your life. Just that simple idea helps a lot in our life. It's not, we are not yet talking about karmic cause and result, but in the temporarily having this idea of the karma, believing in the karma helps a lot. This is true. I used to see and I used to hear in Tibetan case, Tibetan people naturally strong, having strong tendency to believe in the karma. So therefore, those people are very careful to negative action. Very careful not perform negative action. Even they don't try to harm any insects. Even they're trying to do something good things as much as they can to the other sentient beings. The reason is they have strong tendency in the karma. So, and that means your life becomes careful and some sort of, there's a positive lifestyle. Naturally, that happens to individual due to this concept of the karma. And other ways, if you don't believe in the karma, don't respect the karma, some people could become really, crazy. If you don't operate of the government law, in the law of just, there's a government, then you can do anything. Okay. You can kill whatever may be. So therefore, this idea really helps a lot. Just idea helps a lot. We should know that, okay? Some may say the karma is not that much important in the life. Respect to the karma is not important in this life. That's not true. Respect to the karma is really important in the life, really. Because that, respect karma, only, even we have this idea, then that protects us. The life does not fall into the negativities. Okay. That helps us to create positive lifestyle. So that is the very much, that's a benefit to us. That is one of the most benefit to us, because it is clearly to see if we are involved in a lot of negativities in life, then there's no happiness in life. That's quite clear to us. Nobody has to explain to us that. That is quite clear. If we, naturally somebody having life which is positive lifestyle and generating the good things through physically, verbally, mentally, that particular life, the person's life is quite, peaceful life, happy life. And not only the individual, he himself or herself, but around who, who relate to you, get affection. If you are a good person, always doing good, that, naturally, that's someone who related with you, they get good benefit a lot out of your, that's a gentle, kind, good action. As well as somebody is quite negative type of person, always, do negative things, physically, verbally, mentally. That harms not only you, of course, first, victims you. You don't see your life as happy, peaceful, and not only that, but someone around you, related to you, whoever, always negative affections always there. So therefore, this karma, what we call the having idea karma, and then respect the law of the karma helps a lot in the in the just regular way of life. Helps a lot. That's quite clear to us. I hope you understand that. In that case, I'm not talking about the karma and its result. In this particular case, it is just like, in the temporarily, good action gives good to us, and bad action just temporarily give better result to us. Just, that's in temporal. That is not necessarily law of language, law of karmic cause and result. It is just, that's a accidental, temporary affections come out of any this type of actions. The karma is real karma, and its result is we have to go a little bit further than that. I mean, a little bit detail. First, accumulate the karma, and then this is ripening to the form of the happiness or the unhappiness. So that is the take time. It may be, that's many lifetimes or maybe one lifetimes, all these things. So that is the basic meaning of karma again. So here then, another thing I'm trying to explain you, the karma and the Hinayana system and the system where to explain of the karma and Mahayana where to explain the karma have a little bit different. First of all, according to Hinayana teaching, karma works in certain let's say, according to Hinayana teaching, karma is like, that's a function within certain part of life. Okay, do you understand that? Certain part of life is only karma gives result of happiness and suffering. Okay, either happiness or suffering. And the karma itself is either positive karma and negative karma. Positive karma gives result of happiness. Negative karma gives result of suffering. And that, that's a basic meaning of Hinayana. Because for the Hinayana tradition, the perceptions not a result of the karma. Sensory manifestation of not come out of the result of the karma. Do you understand that? What I'm seeing, the tree, what I hear, the sound, what I smell, all those are not a result of the karma. Those are really exist by themselves. All these sensory objects have its own entity. The objects are there in the real, in the form of the reality, and the subject's mind also here in the form of reality. Those are not really result of the karma. But what is the result of karma is because this communication subject to the objects, and then thoughts arise, and then thoughts brings the emotion, and then there's experience. Okay, what you experience happiness, or what you experience that suffering, that can be result of the karma. Do you? Okay. So that way, in the Hinayana tradition, is that karma working quite a narrow way. Only karmic result could be either happiness or suffering. Beside these two experiences, whatsoever may be taking place in the individual life is not a result of the karma. Okay. Then, according to Mahayana tradition, Mahayana says, Semjinawa, Tamche Semjinawa, Lenang is a karmic vision. Whatsoever may be you experience in the life, not only the happiness or the suffering, but all the manifestation of the life is a result of the karma. So in that case, karma is not necessarily the positive karma, only being the positive karma and the negative karma. Karma is just the habit tendency. Okay. Just a habit tendency ripening as the form of the sensory objects and mental manifestation and experience. So there is a quite different idea in the form of the karma and the meaning of the karma. The Hinayana is pretty much easy. In that case, it's work within certain part of life, this life situation. And the Mahayana tradition is, we could say everything is the karmic tendency, karmic manifestation. Karmic manifestation. Then what is the karma in that case? Karma is, of course, there are good karma and bad karma, negative karma and positive karma. And there are a lot of the tendencies called the karma, which is neither positive nor negative things. It is just purely habit tendencies. The habit tendencies, thought habit tendencies, vision habit tendencies, and sensory objects appears manifested these habit tendencies. Emotion habit tendencies, store or restore and subconscious, alaya consciousness. From that alaya consciousness, once that conditions come together, that manifestation manifests as form of the either all the sensory objects, mental manifestation oneself, and physical, and all this, the experiences. So therefore, this, the Mahayana way of explaining is quite detailed, quite profound. Why Mahayana say in that way is, according to Mahayana teaching, first of all, the objects, sensory objects does not really exist first, okay? We may have heard 100 times that, okay? Sensory objects, it look like us really exist outside. Whatsoever may be, we perceived, look like really exist outside. But if we investigate, analyze on that particular objects, we will find there's no really exist in independent nature. There's the final result, what we obtained is the empty of nature. Things are emptiness, naturally empty. So then question is, why we see that then? If there's no really tree outside, if there's no really object exist as we see, then why we see that? Why we see that? Why? The answer is your mind, your consciousness projection. Your mind manifests as form of the sensory objects. Your mind manifests in the form of subjects, different types of consciousness. Your mind manifests as different types of the experience. Your mind manifests different types of the thoughts. So everything's your mind. Okay, the answer is quite correct. Since logically there's no objectively any entity exists, but we see something. So it's not none other than the dream. Just like a dream. In the dream, you can see elephant, horse, tiger. But this form of the elephant, horse, tiger is none other than your own mind, your own consciousness habit form up in that in your mind. Then there's a dreaming come in that way. So awake state like a non-dream, like there's things are like that. And logically, we can prove that sensory objects really not exist. Then the question is why we can see that. Answer is a mental projection. Probably we have heard 100 times that conscious and the projection, or conscious and the manifest. And that way. So that is logically can be explained. And then the next question is, so in that case we have different experience, and the different sensory objects appears to us. Not only that, then we different have experience. In one object, in the one single object, look by the 100% in one time. We have, in many cases, we have different idea that objects in the deep down. Okay, we agree, or that is a tree. Okay, if one tree at the object, we look, we watch, we look 100% look at the same time this tree. One thing we can agree, everybody agree with, oh, this is a tree. Why this agree is come? Because common karma. 100%, 100 people have the common karmic vision, tree. Okay, then that's at the same time, each individual may have different idea on the tree. Some say the tree is pretty much beautiful, good, and others say not that much good. It is something. So in the deep down, naturally, we have different ideas, different thoughts on that tree. That means individually have different karmic tendencies in their mind. So then why it happens is because there are common karma, and in common karma we share similar things. Due to the common karma, we share similar, and due to the different, the individual karmic vision and karmic result, we have different ideas. So, does it make sense? Karma is like, Mahayana way of talking, karma is in that way. So then, in that case, according to Mahayana teaching, karma is not necessarily always a good action and a bad action. Also, mostly this habit tendency, what we call the habit tendency. The tendency restore in the alaya consciousness, and the future lifetime is ripening to us. So then we get this vision. We get that, the manifestations. So therefore, in that case, the karma is that's quite, in the Mahayana tradition, quite a vast meaning. So in that case, the Mahayana tradition, entire life situations are manifestation of karmic tendencies on the subconsciousness. Lej Nawa. In Tibetan, we say the Lej Nawa. Lej Nawa means karmic vision, karmic television, okay, karmic vision. So, life is a karmic vision. so So probably I have said all what I need to say in karma, in the basic meaning of the karma, and then according to Hinayana tradition, what is the range of the karma, and then the Mahayana tradition, and what is the things are, everything is a karmic vision, and then also I said the ripening. It's the time of the ripening uncertainty. It can be ripening in any time, in the future time. And then I said become the complete form of the karma needs different conditions, intention, performed action, and then result happens. So all this, I think that's pretty much good enough now. And also I have said, I have an idea of the karma, and the respect to the karma is, karma gives us a lot of benefit. get a lot of advantage out of this, that's belief. So then what I should to say in the karma is I think that's all. Maybe if you like the discussion on the karma is much better, and we will find some kind of more, this, way to explain a little bit detail. Maybe you say something, then I'll be trying to answer, explain that. Yeah.
So, I have a question. And when you say that these are all mental projections, so, okay, in a material world, I can imagine this table made by wood and so, but mental projection, how does my mental projection meet your mental projection?
What?
I mean, when I have a dream,
yeah, okay,
then it is my dream. You will not know about my dream.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. But now in the day dream, how can we meet our projections?
How can we share our
No, share, yes.
I have mentioned that due to the common karma. Due to the common karma, we share the same mental vision. I have said, if 100 people look at one tree, we have one vision. Everybody says this is tree. Why it happens is the common karmic vision come experience to the 100 people. So this, that's due to the common karmic vision. We have shared similar things. It is similar, but not one. What I see tree, what you see tree, is very similar tree. Not one tree, because there's no one. Trees not exist there. So then your vision, my vision, it becomes the same. So we agree in that way. There's no one object, because tree is not there. And the very fundamental tree is not there. So tree is our own idea. What I got idea, vision is my own idea. What you got vision is your own idea.
Khenpo, it's my question about story Ashoka life.
Yeah?
Ashoka life. And in his story, we see a moment when he recognized karma. And my question about it, before Ashoka is killed a lot of thousand persons.
Yeah.
In one moment, his karma is changed. And
not his karma changed. He changed.
Yes, it's but it's this moment is this moment he understanding, yeah?
Yeah. So what is your question?
And the question is in one side I read about influence to this moment is Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And my question is, influence Buddhas and help Buddhas and Bodhisattvas is these karmic conditions, or what is this?
Okay. According to Mahayana tradition, if Mahayana explained that, then his karmic vision. Okay. due to his karmic tendencies, he could change his motivation, his behavior. And according to Hinayana answer, is not necessarily that the karmic result. It is other, the conditions make him changed. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Khenpo, you explains 3 conditions to make the karma: intention, action, and result.
Yes.
I also heard that it's sometimes teaching about 4 conditions. The 4th is also satisfaction after the result. Could you comment how important is this?
The 4th result is what?
Satisfaction or enjoying the result.
But that is the same as the result. Okay. The third one is the third one. What you mentioned, the 4th is that probably there's no different. Third conditions, is satisfying. You witnessed and you enjoy with the, you happy this result. You witnessed, you see that result. Before you seeing the result, even you don't see the result, or maybe before you see the result, you died, then karma is not completed. For instance, if somebody kills somebody, okay, that particular person has intention to care, performing to care, and somehow killers died before that person died, then karma is not completed. Okay? Because the killer not witnessed, not seen result, the killer may not have the complete karma.
What I mean that I can plan something like kill someone and perform this, but when I see results, I get
Then you get complete.
Happy or I get unhappy, and this change how the
if you have intention to care, perform, then you cared at that moment. Probably you see the result. You get karma, complete karma. But it can be second moment you are regret, and then you know that this is different thing. The regret makes again less karma, less the karmic power is become reduced because this is regret and guilty, and there's possible to purify the negative this karma.
Thank you.
Hello, Khenpo.
Hello.
So you started by saying that we can't really prove karma or something like this. We can't really prove that this action leads to this result exactly, something like this. And so I wanted to ask, how can we develop confidence in karma then? Is it just something we just decide to trust blindly, or is there a way to kind of build confidence that karma is real,
Mm-hmm. First of all, we should try to understand that this law, the system of law of a karmic cause and result, if we believe it, if we accept this idea, helps or not in our practical life, trying to look in that way. That we have this system idea, or maybe belief that that's an idea of accept or believe, it helps or not in practical life, in our practical life, helps or not. If we look in that way first. For me, not only my case, it is quite clear. This system, law of karma, idea, if we accept, if we believe, that helps a lot in the very practical life. Because I have mentioned that idea, belief, protects lot, protects life, our life a lot in the practical way. Because this It's just simple idea and belief make us not fall into trying not to fall into the negativities, trying to cultivate more positive things in the life. That is the really, helps to us and practical. Because, that's so first, we should understand in that way. Some or many people may not, look in that way. Why we should have this, the strange ideas, so-called karma. What is the benefit? Sometimes we could think that way, but actually, this idea, this beliefs helps a lot in the practical life. Even we may not believe the result in the future lifetime. If you do something, you get, that's a lot of benefit, or maybe negative in future lifetimes. If we may not be able to accept that in that moment. But simply in this life, if we do good things, trying to good things, it's good to us. Trying not to do bad things, it's a result. That result is not much, suffering in the life. So simply, it helps a lot first. And then, and the real meaning of the karma, if you act good action in this lifetime, give a result, maybe after many lifetimes, all these things are simply you have to trust Buddha's teaching. There's no other way. Logic cannot prove. I said the logic cannot prove, but in the ancient texts, trying to explain these things in the logically and make reasons. But in my case, I could not find the real logic. I could not, that what mentioned in ancient text, the logic reasons don't work in my mind. Could not prove in my mind. So therefore, for me, simply need to trust to the teaching. Just simply Buddha said, Bodhisattvas believe in that way. So that could be right. That could be correct. Okay?
So, Khenpo, I haven't studied karma very much enough, but I have a little impression of the Buddhist presentation and also a small of the, let's say, Vedic or Hindu presentation of karma. And what I understand from the Vedic, they say actually the main thing that describes your karma is your birth horoscope. And they say it captures the karma, describes the karma. And so I think there they would actually take this as a method and they would work a little bit with this. My impression in Buddhism is that maybe the approach is different, but maybe I'm wrong here. But that we would look instead, all phenomena, you try to see the nature of all phenomena. It doesn't matter if the moon was in this house or... What is your idea on and also how do you understand what a horoscope, does it capture all our past karma from all past lives, or just a little bit some things that ripen in this life?
First of all, the horoscope, I have no idea at all. Really, the zero knowledge on that horoscope. I really don't know that. And secondly, the Hindu system, way of the belief, the karma is, for me, very similar to the Buddhism. Probably there's no much difference between, the Hinduism's basic belief on the karma and the Buddhist basic belief, the karma. But somehow, you said Vedic and Vedas, tradition. What I understand in the Veda traditions, and the real, that's in the Veda, ancient Vedic teachings may not mention the karma. Okay, karma is come from different system. For instance, in the ancient in India, the 2,500 years before, there's two major spiritual traditions. One is the following to the Veda, and others following not follow to the Veda, which called the Sharamana tradition, which believes samsara and karma reincarnations. These two traditions already exist before Buddha's time. The Veda not accept this, and during that time the karma, these things. But later, just these two traditions exist in one society that affect, that learn each other, affect each other's tradition. So then all this mostly Hindu tradition adopts the karmic, the idea of the karma, so on. So therefore, since I don't know that this horoscope, I have no answer that. And then the second thing, the last, that before question, logically how one should to, how it's possible to prove the karma, or how we could trust the karma based on the little bit of logic, the reason. I have said mostly we have to go having trust to the scriptural teachings. And at the same time, we could see a little bit of logic there, also, logic there. For instance, in one family, let's say, in one family, having like one family, maybe two brothers there. These two brothers are supposed to be the same education, one family, education is same, all these conditions always the same, whatever the temporary conditions the same. But somehow these two brothers' destination becomes very different in many cases. One, the one person may success for always, whatever may do, it is easy to success, easy to gain good things, and lifestyle is quite successful, good. And the others, even education level and activity level is very same, but somehow not that much successful. Always something obstacles, always something failures always happens to us. Then why it happens? If we question, observe why that happened, all the necessary conditions are exactly same, these two persons. But somehow destination result is always different. Even the life is, the situation, enjoy or not, is totally different. What is behind there? Something. Material conditions same, but situation, real situation experience is different. What is the force then behind? What is the force behind this situation? Nobody knows. Usually people commonly called lucky person, unlucky person. Okay, lucky person get everything what they want. Unlucky persons not get everything what they. So that kind of answer we have. Have you this kind of the question asked to the Buddhist people? We immediately we could say, oh, different karma. We have different karma behind this, that's the material conditions. So that way, there are little that reason and logic there. Okay.
Thank you very much for opportunity to clarify the terms. Like Karmapa always speaks about positive, negative, and neutral karma. Do I understand correct? The neutral karma is more like outer world for us. And the second is some people use term mixed karma. So I don't really agree with it because in one moment one karma or positive or negative arise. So what do you think about mixed karma?
There's no mixed karma. It could be positive, negative according to the Hinayana, and then Mahayana, just the neutral karma can be. Neutral karma means not necessarily positive action and negative action. It's just a habit tendency. Just habit tendency. Habit tendency becomes karma. Habitual. Okay. Coffee addiction. Habit. Like, it's a form karma. Okay, yes. Yes. It's look like that, but not. I'm not directly the coffee addiction. It is habit. There's if you're trying to think good things, if you're trying to be happy person, it may not happen immediately to you. Just, there's a repeat in your mind, repeat. With effort, with patiently repeat it many times, and day to day, and eventually you get habit that. So eventually, you do not need much put effort. You do not need much, patience to repeat that. Eventually, spontaneously, that that happens to you due to the habit. Habit is very, is not that much difficult to get used in your mind. It's really the karma works in that way, according to Mahayana. For instance, if you have some kind of darkness life situation in the past, if you often go to that image to think that, and that earns a habit in your mind, it's getting more strong and strong. It not helps to disappear, but that more you invite more closer and closer, and it is more becomes real and real due to the habit. And the same thing, if you trying to think, that's quite, that's a positive aspect of your mind, and positive, that's ideas and happy mood, and may it not happen immediately, but trying to repeat it, and eventually that that's the vision or that experience becomes form the habit, and eventually it happens to us in a natural sense of the life experience due to the habit. So in that case, just a short period of time, habit tendencies how work in the mind, and we see that then many lifetimes habit tendencies, of course, it's very powerful to affect in the life. So yeah. So then other question, yes, you.
Khenpo, I'm going to translate a question from a friend here who doesn't speak English well. So the question is, you mentioned a few times an example of a tree, experience of a tree. So for example, a person who has already a direct experience of emptiness, how this person sees or experiences this tree. And another part of this question, this direct experience of emptiness, how can it be attained or reached? Can it be reached by with the help of analytical meditation? Thank you.
Analytical meditation. Okay. First, if someone directly realized tree's emptiness or experienced tree's emptiness, which means there is the certain level of individuals their experience. I have no idea because I never experienced tree's emptiness. Okay. Okay, I will say something. When we say the experience the tree's emptiness, see the tree's emptiness, means we see the truth of the tree. We experience the truth of the tree, reality of the tree. What is the reality of a tree? So the first step of experience truth of tree is intellectual mind. Intellectually, you found there's no real tree on that object. This is pretty much easy to us, really. If we really little bit, investigate, examine, then there's more research, more investigation. Tree is more disappeared. There's no really tree. Just tree is simply idea and a name. Mentally we put tree on that particular object. Object is the composed object of trunk, branch, leaf, all together. We call the tree. We label name on that object. There's no tree. Independent nature tree. Intrinsic nature tree. There's no nature of the tree on that object. Okay. Then that means intellectually, more or less, we understanding tree is the emptiness. Tree is just simply name and your idea. There's no objectively really exist as tree. So that knowledge profoundly, habitually get used in your mind through the contemplation and eventually through the meditation. And eventually that knowledge is not in your intellectual level, but in deep your heart experience in that way. It is not only the tree, we can use the self entity, so on. So once we see that, we experience really in the deep in your conscious, deep your, this mind. So then you would have unshakable confidence with this tree. You like your idea is, I can see the tree, I can show the tree, but what I'm seeing the tree is definitely, objectively, not really exist. That is 100% sure. Okay. You have really confidence, but you see that tree, still you see that. Tree is not disappeared, but you know what mean by the tree. And deeply what you know what is the reality of the tree. So what happens, that particular person is basically nothing happened. You have still tree in your garden. Okay, you can touch the tree, but something a little bit changed your idea toward the tree. Okay, changed. So basically what happened is something like, that's a misinterpretation about a tree. Misunderstanding is tree is lost. Ego of tree is disappeared. Then knowing the true nature of the tree is come to your mind, knowledge. Confusion tree about the tree is disappeared. Before you have confusion, misinterpretations, misperceptions, misunderstanding about tree. Because why? The tree is not real there actually, but you believe there's not really tree. Habitually, you just clinging, there's really tree. Grasping on the tree, that's the ego clinging. Now, I can see the tree, but I know what mean by this, that's the objects. The knowledge is come to you. Do you understand that? What happened is extra knowledge, unusual knowledge, wisdom arise in your mind towards the objects. Good things happened. Then you enlightened. After enlightened is pretty much difference. We could not say this and that. Whether enlightened means seeing the tree or not, who knows? But you ask it to that enlightened beings about the tree. He or she has a lot of answer on the tree. Unmistakably, he can talk of the tree. Yeah.
Thank you, Khenpo. I have a question about the common karma.
Mm-hmm.
Like if individual karma is stored in the alaya consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
then what about the common karma?
Common karma is there also. It's common karma is individually. Common karma is we have similar karma. That the tendency is a story. Individual consciousness, alaya consciousness.
So that means that the common karma is just referring to the karma which is in our individual alaya consciousness,
Yes, also.
but which is the same as with other beings. So, for example, I have a file on my computer which is the same as the file on somebody else's computer. That can be the common karma, so to say.
That is not really common karma. Common karma is like that shares one object, one experience. For instance, two people look at the one object. We have same vision that object. That is common karma. For instance, two people experience very similar experience in the mind on the life. This is due to the common karmic result. And experience two different things are not necessarily common karma in that case. Just the human being, entirely human being, we have the common karma because human vision. Human being has a similar vision, similar lifestyle, similar experience due to the human common karma. We are pretty much different from the animals' experience. So animals, they have their own shared common karma. In that case, we can explain that due to the karmic vision that 6 realms happened. Human being has a human common karma, so we share pretty much similar life situations, life idea. Animals have their own common karmic vision. They share their own similar, this idea or life experience, so on. Then in this human realms, even we have this common karma covers the whole human being, but at the same time, within the human society, again, there's a different group, the different nationalities, different families, again share there's a small common karma vision within themselves.
Thank you.
I've got a question about killing.
Don't care.
Yeah, I think it's quite important, maybe. is it not a matter of the reason why you kill somebody if it's going to produce a negative karma? Let's say there is a person, maybe a gangster, and you see he's going to kill immediately some people or also yourself. Then I think it would be a good idea to kill him first if you have the possibility, or not.
That is one of the Buddha's previous life story talk about these things. Sometimes, that action itself may look like it's negative, but behind the action get by the positive intention. So then, even this, this action itself may harm a particular person, particular, this objects. That karma, that the result of the karma becomes positive sometimes. As she said, gangsters, like, if you stop that particular person's negative, that's performing negativities in order to stop there, that particular person, if you killed with good motivation, good intention, so you killed a human being. But you got good karma because you stopped a lot of negativities happening there. So there are a lot of the things to say in that case, really a lot of things. In the Buddhist, this idea of karma is pretty much, that's amazing sometimes. For instance, then there's there's a discussion like, anyway, okay, yeah.
Thank you, Khenpo. My question regards the intellect. I believe, if I understood, it could be the what we call the mental consciousness, number 6 level. Mm-hmm. Is it okay?
Yes.
Then, from what I learned, this doesn't only appears on really develop on human when after 6-7 years old. Before there is no such things as intellectual. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then my question regards the animals, because we can see that some animals could have intellectual or conceptual idea, but some don't. So what can you tell us about this, please?
About animals, intellectual?
Yes.
Human.
Do they have a 6th?
I think so. Even they have the 6th consciousness, 8th consciousness, sensor consciousness, 7th consciousness. Somehow this 6th consciousness based on the very uncapacited faculties. Mental faculties are not that much powerful as human being. So therefore this 6th consciousness is not that much intelligent like the human 6th consciousness. They have some kind of little, that's intelligent, little bit, ability to make discriminating between good and bad, but somehow not as humans' power. They don't have that kind of power. Because humans' basic mind is the same. Animal consciousness and human consciousness. Basic fundamental consciousness is the same. But when it manifests and function to the objects, then it becomes very different between animal and human consciousness. Reason why is the faculties, sense and faculties have different ability. Animals, sense faculties, and that's all these things are not that much powerful. And the human sense faculties, brain, and all these are very powerful. So therefore, that sense faculties makes, that the mind is more intelligent, more sharpened. Even aliens may have more powerful sense faculties, more big brain. So even, the consciousness same as basic consciousness same as us, but they may have more intelligent than us. I think so. That is what Buddha doesn't say anything about the aliens.
I have another question. It's regarding what Shamarpa was saying once in Dakpo about spiritual terrorism and the connection between chakra and karma. Were you there when you spoke about it?
Spiritual what?
Terrorism. Falun Dafa in China, when they add another chakra and...
Okay.
You never, okay.
Spiritual terrorism. I never heard this before. Yeah, that could be exist. Spiritual terrorism. Terrorist. The terrorist motivation use the spirituality methods. It becomes a spiritual terrorism. What I'm thinking. The person who has intention to do the terrorist action, terror action, negative action, but somehow using the methods of spirituality, like a spiritual, like chakras, channels, black magic, all these things. So then it can be spiritual terrorist. That is what I'm.
They add another chakra or?
No, they're just, they adopt from the spiritual system and they just keep as their own system. Yeah. They're explaining it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Khenpo. I have a question. You said you never know, it's never certain when the karma will unfold. So is there anything like instant karma? So if somebody, for example, asks you for a favor and you say, no, I don't have time and I don't want to do it now, and then within the next 1 hour or two, you lose your phone or you miss a plane. This kind of instant karma.
Yes.
Do you think it's existing?
That idea is, I think, new idea, so-called instant karma. It's I used to hear the instant karma, lords used to hear nowadays, but in authentic scriptural and the Buddhist, there's a such called instant karma is not exist, but sometimes. The karma ripening in one lifetime, that is the token in the scripture, because, for instance, somebody did very powerful either negative actions or positive actions. It can be ripening in this lifetime. It's not instant, like, if I say something bad word towards somebody, and immediately somebody react to you, say bad word to you, oh, I got karma. We don't have that kind of idea in the scripture, but nowadays people wanted to say there's instant karma. It's okay, doesn't matter. Yeah.
I also have, because of course these are very popular ideas, yeah. So sometimes people ask, for example, me also these questions. For example, talking about the coronavirus, about the pandemic, because you said common karma before. Do you think that this virus has anything to do with bad karma of
it could be
all the societies or us as a mankind, or is that also just a popular
it
idea?
Could be. In that case, the like corona, the COVID-19, these kind of diseases very often come to the human realms, and the humans get suffering. But somebody asked, if we ask these kind of things, suffering and commonly something experiences really a karmic result or not, then, the answer is very difficult. Nobody predicts, nobody, decides whether this is the karmic result or maybe it's some and other, consequence and other different conditions come up in that way. We really don't know that. Only maybe Buddha would say whether that's the karma or maybe, instantly, in the temporarily condition, make this kind of, experience. Only Buddha knows. So therefore, in the deep down, prediction karma is very difficult. For instance, I get sick, okay. I get disease. For example, disease. The disease is caused me in the past karma or not. It's nobody sure. Really nobody sure. It could be karmically experience as formed the disease, or maybe it could be due to the other different other conditions make us this disease. So therefore, that kind of answer is really we could not make answer. Yeah, only Buddha knows.
Thank you, Khenpo, for your teachings. I'm curious if we have lifetimes of forever, from beginningless time, many, many, many lifetimes. If we reach a point in a lifetime that you resolve your karma, is it possible that you resolve your karma and then you have a freshness, or does that at that point mean you've reached some point of liberation? And is there, so that's one question, like do we get to a point where we could resolve the karma in a lifetime where you then all of your actions would be an immediate result in karma? And are there such things as new lives, like when someone is born, that they have no karma, that they're fresh and like without karma on birth, like new soul, new life force, new essence?
Okay, the question is not so clear. The first one is
okay,
what?
The first one is we've lived lifetimes, millions,
okay,
trillions throughout time.
Yeah, that's a resolved karma.
Can you resolve a karma in a lifetime where you have reached a point where everything is resolved, that you have somehow completed or reached your, let's say, your dharma? You've resolved your dharma.
That means dharma is no more. No, karma is no more.
So karma is there, always there, but you reach a point where you're like at a even. There's no negative, no positive. You're at the point where it's resolved. Can that happen in a lifetime?
A lifetime, it can be happened. Okay. If you enlightened, then karma is no more. Even there's no negative and no positive karma.
That would be enlightenment.
That would be enlightenment. Karma, the tendency is never, there's no more there. Karma is exhausted.
Karma would be exhausted. That would mean enlightenment.
Yeah. And the second question is there possible having a birth, particular sentient beings without any karmic tendency in their mind? That's impossible. Impossible.
Impossible to have a fresh new birth with no karma.
There's no such.
No such thing.
Always, the being born in the six realms due to the karmic conditions. If you have no karma in consciousness, you never born in any six realms because you have no vision of the six realms. Because you have no source of the vision of the six realms. So therefore, without karmic tendency, there's no such, fresh, empty consciousness be born and, any kind of life.
So when you have a tulku, for example, that's born...
They have a lot of karma. They have a lot of karmas, they experience the good things, experience the bad things, they're due to the karmic. So probably you mean that, the higher trukus, like, some bodhisattvas reincarnations, rebirths are not necessarily controlled by the karma. They still have the karma, but, due to the power of their realization, due to the power of their aspiration, and all those are very strong in their mind stream, mostly because these aspirations, realization, bring them in the rebirth. Karma is less powerful in their case. They have karma, but at the same time, karma is less powerful than their aspirations, realization qualities.
Thank you.
Khenpo, thank you for teaching. I have one question. Is everybody has his own karma, and even Buddha, he say himself also cannot change people's karma. So in that case, it also have some. I mean, in that case, we should not interrupt into people's karma. There has one saying like, once you interrupt people's karma, then you probably have to bear in their karma.
Probably.
You have to bear in the, because you enter in. For instance, your friend asks you help, so then you go to help. So maybe this karma should be your friend's like difficulty, but then because you enter in, so the difficulty become on yourself. So means like I don't know, because we also teaching that we have to be compassionate to people.
Yeah.
So it's just like when they have looking for karmas, like we have our own karma.
Yeah,
so
probably.
Everybody has his own karma. So how should we do this?
Yeah, probably I understand your question. Buddha says, I cannot do anything, your karmic experience. Okay, Buddha cannot remove your karma by his hands. If you have good karma, it's good to you. If you have bad karma, it's bad to you. Okay, if you have the bad karma, and then you go to the Buddha, ask to help, and the Buddha only helps to advise how you should to purify your bad karma and how you should avoid these bad karmas. But Buddha cannot take your bad karma away from your soul, consciousness, through away. That is true. But at the same time, even your good karma and bad karma is your own personal, very personal, that's a tendency. That cannot be changed by others. But in the experience, when the karma is ripening to you, when it's ripening to you due to the different conditions, you can be a condition for that particular person. For instance, a particular person start to experience bad experience due to the bad karma ripening. That bad, at that moment, you can be a condition which avoid that experience, that particular person. For instance, in that particular time, if you help this person not fall in that situation, support that person, that means you become a condition to prevent, to experience that bad karma in that moment. So you can do that. You can be conditioned, as well as in positive conditions. Like if you have good conditions, in order to this good karma, if you have good karma, and in order to that good karma ripen in your life, you need different conditions. You can be one of the different conditions. For instance, if somebody getting successful due to their, there's a good karma, and if there's need help by others, you can be helper. So become helper becomes good conditions for this good karma ripening. So therefore, there is possibility to help. You can do lot of things in the karmic realms. We could not say, okay, you experience bad things, that's your karma, I cannot do anything. Okay, you experience good things, that's your good karma, but if you need some help to develop that, I cannot do anything. That's your karma. We cannot say that. So therefore, we should know the karma as conditions need together. Karma itself, you could not change. Only one has to change by oneself. One's karma should to change oneself. But you can be conditions. You can be involved. Do you understand?
I understand, but to some extent, we use our judgment to see this is good, this is bad for the person. So when we think this is bad for him, so we think we can enter into to do this. But in the other way, to see this is bad karma, but because it's our human judgment, we think this is bad karma, it's bad things. But to some extent, somehow, if this thing happened to someone, it's not necessary. It definitely isn't bad because we judge it use our human mind. Sometimes I don't know because it's very difficult to get a balance. How to. Yeah. I know it's a bodhisattva. Then we should try to help people to get out such negative things. But somehow some negative things, which you think is very negative, but to some extent this kind of negative actually is his experience, and then he can turn out to become a very positive. Like people have some, for things we always say if your life is very happy and also very good, then you are you live in a God realm. So means you are not the one who will persuade the Dharma. Only when you have something difficulty, and then you start to search why these things happen to me, how we going to solve it. So then your mind turn to Dharma. So if everything is always good, then this bad thing is not bad thing. It's good thing for the people who were searching for Dharma to search enlightenment. But for our personal, humans view, we see, well, this is bad, so I have to help him. So he become okay. Then once he okay, then it's no obstacle. But this obstacle actually is not obstacle. It's something lead him to enter in the past.
Yeah.
So it's my question.
Yeah, basically, that whether something happens to the people, a particular person, that whatever may be experienced, good or bad, is at the same time very difficult to judge. Sometimes it looks bad experience, but in the deep down, maybe it's good for them. Sometimes, this look it's the good experience, but it's deep down in the long term, maybe that experience is bad. It could be happened. But somehow that way, that's really judge others, that's a situation others experience pretty much difficult at the same time. But somehow, on the other hand, we can see really, that sometimes people experience very negative things, difficult things, really obviously needed help from the other. So therefore, that it is quite clear sometimes that experience is very, the difficult to the particular person in the temporarily, and in the long term, that experience never get any benefit. To seeing that, to knowledge that, then we're trying to help them. Just that's and directly. So that is at the same time it is quite clear to us. And sometimes, as you mentioned, the good experience, like the luxury life and the happy life, is sometimes a little obstacle to renounce the samsara. That's also true. Renounce samsara, that is also true. If you are not renounced samsara, then there's no possible to liberated from the samsara. Oh, that is true. But at the same time, we understand that, that luxury experiences may not really prevent liberation. I mean, there's a renounce the samsara. For instance, when we look in the society and that's a human realm, we see in order to aim liberation from samsara, you do not need really suffering. No, not really experience suffering. That's quite true. For me, that's quite clear. Very rich people, very luxury people, very, there's people who has a lot of fortunity. Sometimes they see the samsaric material things have no really value much. Really, those people, many those kind of type of people turn into the path of spirituality. It happens. And that poor people may not always have got kind of, the renounced mind. That's true. It's up to really dependence people's, what we call the mind that which has karmic tendency in the past, or which has, meritorious merit, and that, the mind is that, pretty much depend on whether you could have thought of renunciation or not. Okay. So the time's up, and just we have discussed a lot of things today. And today's main topic is karma. In that case, when we talk about karma, one of the most important thing we should understand is karma is not just helpful to us for the higher rebirth or maybe enlightenment. If we respect the law of the karma, if we respect the law of karma, it helps to us in the very practical and temporary life. We should understand that, okay? And basically, if we should understand that, then that's the respect of law of karma is pretty much easy to us. For instance, that as I mentioned many times, that is that today's more essential today's teaching is even you could not think the good karma brings a result in the future lifetimes. You cannot imagine that, but at least you're trying to understanding the idea of karma, concept of the karma, respect, and it helps a lot in the practical life, in this life situations. That idea protects your life from to fall into the negativities. So that is the main point today, okay? So thanks everyone once again to being here and present here and give me this opportunity to share some teachings and ideas of Buddhism would be very good. And thanks for that. And I wish you in this happy New Year, New Year Eve, wish you all the best and success for your materialistic level and the spiritual level both. And yeah, that's all. Thank you. Okay, now dedicate married, okay? Tomne nipe dranam pamze ne chega nanche wala choba sibe zolen rova drovar sho jambar pavo chedar chemba gondo zambo deyan dejende teda kunje jiso dala gewan de da damje rabde ngo sanje ko sani be chen lab chunye menjor dembe chen lab dan genden misin de be chen lab che da ngo wa ma lan dro ba shu short, long Tara mantra. Just Tara mantra, okay? La dan la min je bin je shab je pe mo la de ne pomba kun la dunze dreme yom la chan za lo om tari tu tari tu som 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 tari tu tari tu om tari tu tari som tari tu tari tu so wa ge wan de yin yu de da che zen de man drum jur nen ro wa chi jam ma le de sa lang go ba sho. Okay.